help write your cover letter, your applying for an internship, job. They post job fairs throughout the year. Corporate recruiters. They post different types of job fairs. So like they might have grad schools from around the country, and it's just a building full of classrooms with a planetarium on top. Pretty much. I mean, that's at least how I look at it. But I mentioned the planetarium all the way up in the top, that silver dome. That's where our astronomy students have their labs once a week. Right on the other side of the ORB is a shopping center called Emory Village. Has a 24-hour CVS. A great breakfast place called Rise and Dine. A cookie shop. Chipotle. Zoe's Kitchen. A great Vietnamese place. Bank of America, and a Domino's. You can actually order delivery from that Domino's using your meal plan, so it's pretty popular. I personally hate Domino's, but at 3 a.m. when you're in the library and you're hungry and you can use your meal plan, you order Domino's and you just eat because that's a part of college. But Emory Village is super convenient, whether you just want to get off campus right quick, whether you're craving some Chipotle, whether you want to meet a professor at Rise and Dine, or you need gummy worms at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can run to CVS. Then we have another 24-hour CVS on the other side of campus at Emory Point, which is another shopping center. That one's a little bit more upscale. There are a few clothing shops, more sit-down restaurants, a BurgerFi, fresh to order, a great Italian place, Mexican place called Ten Lizzies, and condos and apartments that you can move into as an upperclassman. So Emory Point is pretty nice, and like I said, there's another 24-hour CVS over there. It's a little bit farther, so Emory Village is maybe a 10-minute walk from the freshman residence hall. Emory Point is maybe a 15-minute walk. But we also have shuttles that run to and from Emory Point and Emory Village. So if you're a lazy bone like me and you don't want to walk, you can just get on the push shuttle. So the area we're in right now is called the Quad. And at the head of the Quad, that white marble building, is our administration building, which houses the office of our president, Dr. James. As a college student, you learn how much $4 really is. And so I repurposed that $4. I did. And I sincerely appreciate J-Wags ever since then. We have a great relationship. Whenever I see him on campus, I wave and he waves back. So, you know, we're pretty close. Right across the Quad is the Michael C. Carlos Museum. That's a free museum on campus. So you'll primarily see your art history, anthropology, Middle Eastern studies, history majors. You'll see them in the library doing hands-on research with primary resources. Or you might get asked on a free college date to the museum because it's free for all students. And so it'll just be like, hey, there's a really cool exhibit in the museum. You mean the High Museum of Art downtown? No. I meant the Carlos Museum campus. But they do have really cool stuff throughout the year. We get a lot of exhibits directly from Egypt because in 1999 we actually identified one of their mummies as Pharaoh Ramses I, and sort of at the left, she's somewhere crying. You just got your first Emory t-shirt and you come out to the Quad, make your graduating class year. So my class, we made a giant 2018. They take a picture of it, you make it your cover photo on Facebook, and voila, you're an Emory student now. Then your senior year, you come right back out to the Quad for an outdoor commencement ceremony. Commencement is outdoors every single year, right there on the Quad. Previous years, we've had amazing speakers like President Jimmy Carter, the Dalai Lama. So, you know, Emory has a lot of connections with a lot of famous people. So, commencement is always a really cool thing that happens on campus. To your right is the Callaway Center. That houses our Writing Center, which is another free resource. It's made up of English creative writing professors and English graduate students. And so you can submit your paper either via email or you can go in and say, hey, I have this 20-page paper due in 3 weeks. I kind of sort of not really have a thesis. I don't really know how to make an outline for a 20-page paper. And I wrote my topic sentence. And then they'll be like, baby steps. And they'll sort of help you through the process. And so the Writing Center is a resource that I always highlight on my tours because I think it's important to know that Emory students are all brilliant in different ways, but just because you're amazing at computer tech, writing, or you really enjoy reading or memorizing facts, it doesn't mean that taking calculus is going to be a breeze for you. And so along with the Writing Center, we have ePass and eSchool tutoring. We're actually going to stop here and say for a second. So ePass tutoring is sort of like a one-time thing. So say I just sort of bombed my biology test. I don't know why. I thought I studied. I thought I did great. And then you go to ePass tutoring and say, I don't understand what I did wrong. I prefer to study in the math and reading room. I'm not particularly a quiet studier. And so sometimes I'll just cross over the bridge into the Robert Woodruff Library. The Woodruff Library is our main library on campus, but we have 11 here on campus. The Woodruff is a large, that's what most undergraduates go to study. It has 10 floors. The first building has 5 and the back building has 10. And the study spaces get quieter and more individualized as you go up. So if you start on the first floor, there's a coffee shop, pizza, coffee, larger study tables. You can rent out study rooms with your friends. You can eat down there. You can play music. But as you get up into the stacks, which are these individual cubbies, so the stock booms. And that endowment is now worth over $6.7 million.
$100 million.
It's all the conspiracy to make it look popular. They don't want me to. And so Mr. Woodruff's donation has grown to a huge endowment on campus. We use that money to start a research kind of there is residential needs-based scholarship. Has about 7th grade. So you'll spend 2 years in college taking your prerequisites. You can also choose to declare a major in life. Then you apply to the business school. When you get into business school, you can school major, so it might be like specifically accounting or marketing. But it's still cool to have hospital right center campus, especially if you're interested in free health, whether that be free med, free nursing, or like dentistry, surgery. Because you can go to our pre-health mentoring office and get paired up with someone in the hospital to shadow. You can volunteer in the hospital or do research with someone in the hospital. Or if you're not interested in pre-health at all, like me, you sprain your ankle the first semester of freshman year, you can go right there and they'll take you up in time for class. Also, we have an EMT program here on campus where you spend 2 semesters and become a registered emergency medical technician. Our EMT program is pretty popular. My freshman year roommate did it. And then when she went back home this summer, she actually was an EMT in her local hospital. And so when she applies to medical school, that'll be a cool thing that she can put on her med school applications. Is the Cosfall Computer Lounge. This is my favorite place to study on campus for 4 reasons. The first, you see those little blue big bags right there with the red tags on them that say Fat Boy? Those are the most comfortable nap time on that ever. So when you guys are college shopping, get a Fat Boy big bag. Put it in your room, every good. The second reason is there are these really cool cubbies that are down on the ground. So there's all these clothes on the floor. There's triggers that are a little wet. There's a gas station in there. So it's sort of like we take all the clothes off your mom's couch, put them on the floor, so she doesn't know. That's how your mom, that's how your parents treat you. And so I like to study protocol, particularly during the year, during the day. Protocol is very good. They're not that easy. Okay, so as far as the computer thing, I actually don't know how many students on the campus use the laptop, but I was maybe a survey of that or anything. But we do have, like I said, a ridiculous amount of computers on campus. So you can always find a computer if you don't come to campus with a computer. And I always say that on my tours because kale, fresh carrots, everything is like, it's just magical. Like you come out of class and you smell samosas frying, and you're just like, this is like today is it. And then also, I like to say that the food court on Cloud Tower Bridge is really like a mixing bowl on campus because you're gonna see every single person, every single type of person on it. So here at Emory, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 undergraduate students at a time, and then another 2,000 to 3,000 graduate students because we have a medical school, law school, school of theology, and nursing school all on campus, as well as about 25 graduate programs. And so we have a lot of grad students on campus, not to mention a history grad student. You'll see all those people at the farmers market, grab their popsicles, get coffee, also. So it's a really cool place to get people on campus. As well as I think having grad schools on campus can be a motivator as well as open your eyes avenues of which one is so when I first came to Emory, I knew I wanted to major in political science. No questions about that. But I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do post graduation. You know, I can work on political people who are still your teenage.
Going into a residence room.
So the residence hall we're in right now is called Turner Hall. This is one of our freshman residence halls on campus. We have 7. We have 8. I lied. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think we just locked the shots.
Uh-oh. The other way.
So we're gonna go into the lounge where the other group is meeting now. Work this a little bit.
Everyone should be able to fit in and check. Your meal plan is going to include $150 dollars, which I mentioned earlier. It's a dollar for dollar swap out system you use to purchase food on campus. You're going to use your $50 at Cox Hall, Caldy's Coffee, Pete's Coffee in the library, at Highland Bakery over in the B School to order Domino's. You can use them at the convenience store, the bookstore, so it's a lot of places on campus. And then you have unlimited swipes into this past spring, well actually this past fall, there were a lot of protests against the death penalty. We had a lot of amount of things that are all pretty cool. Along with our acapella, we have about 400 student organizations here on campus that range from everything to club sports to cultural organizations. And you can find a faculty advisor. Then you can get give that competitive aspect and compete against other schools. But it'll only be a weekend thing, and then you have intramural sports if you really don't have the time to dedicate to club sport, or you don't think you're good enough, or you just want to play. And then outside, we have 5 full-size tennis court, full-size track, one has to be written class or advanced class, so you can take maybe like how the body works or modern dance. Feel that? Then you have your organization. The sentence moves from here. Some organizations have it on sophomore, and you'll see have a certain number of credit hours.
So, are you from Baltimore? Sherry, but
Oh yeah, well that's where I'll start.
I like it.
Yeah.
Because also the latitude is like the Romania.
Yeah, exactly.
When I came here, I was shocked by
By the heat.
the heat.
Oh yeah, because I'm originally from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Right. That's right.
beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
I've seen America all over.
Yeah, I love Massachusetts. The weather, I mean, it's a beautiful country. The history.
So I've been from Washington State, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah. Living or work?
Work.
That's hot too.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
No,
hot. This
no,
gets
no.
humid. It's the humidity. That's the difference.
The whole I was.
So you came in with 32?
The long hair.
Or if you take like psychology, but as you get to the higher levels of your major, your classes continually drop in size. So you're having classes that are 10 to 15 students per faculty. However, here at Emory, all of your classes that have more than 30 students are going to have at least one TA, and then the more, for every 30 students, there's an additional TA. So if you take a class with 120 people, you'll have 3 TAs per class. Another great thing about the university is that you're not required to declare your major until the second semester. So you need to go ahead and get on the ball. But if you're only having one major or a major learner, you have quite a bit of time to take all your classes and fulfill that before you have to declare your sophomore year. Speaking of DER, our general education environment here is a really cool system. So as opposed to having to take a freshman English or a freshman math, there are just a variety of buckets that you have to fill before you graduate. Certain buckets can only be filled by science class. Like
I've been,
science is the nature requirement.
Have you ever seen Salt Lake?
Oh yeah. I've gone there for work.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful. I like Salt Lake.
amazing how those people they travel all over to there and build what they build.
Oh really? Yeah. Now, can they go there?
Is what?
Can they go?
Yeah, you pay, they go. Easy.